We got company, she remarked. You'll always have company. Blynn's dry witticism came over her headphones. Chuckling, she squeezed the drive sticks, and the bullet-shaped machine slid into the hole she'd left on the previous dig. It took a couple of minutes for the bore to reach the depth where she'd stopped previously. Contact made. Affirmative. Let her rip, Ayn, Sheridan ordered. Affirmative. She deftly thumbed the buttons to fire the laser and concentrated on keeping the machine on target as it ate through the ore. The temperature in the cockpit seemed to be increasing faster than normal. Or maybe time's passing more quickly, she surmised. The dig was progressing as smoothly as it could go. With so much ergastium contained within the planet, there was very little other, denser materials to contend with. Nearing 88% capacity, Sheridan informed her after a while. How's it going on your end? She knew he was inquiring about the heat. Still tolerable. I'm guessing if we're lucky, we might even up. She figured it would get to the point where she'd have to shut down and resurface about the same time she hit 100% of her payload. It would be damn close. More than a dozen of the ghostly figures began congregating around the outer edges of her radar. Ayn noticed how more seemed to be appearing, making her wonder why they were suddenly amassing. Blynn, can you read me? I read you, Ayn, he reassured her. I'm seeing a crowd gathering on my screen. Do you have any idea why? A pause. A crowd, he repeated. Yeah, there has to be at least a couple dozen, maybe more. They're moving closer to my point of impact. Warn them away, Blynn. You're starting to overheat in there, Sheridan informed her. Temps topping 90 degrees and climbing. Time to throttle back and return topside. What's my output? She demanded. Nearing 91%. Let me hit 100. I can stand it. She shook her head to dislodge the sweat already rolling down her face. Some got into her eyes, stinging them, and she blinked furiously to overcome it. She wished she could wipe the perspiration away, but if she let go of the drive sticks, the bore could veer off target. Or worse. Why couldn't someone invent a spacesuit to keep us comfortably cool in here? She muttered. They tried that, remember? Sheridan stated. The suit was too bulky to fit in the cockpit. Yeah, and that was how many decades ago? You'd think our engineers would have been able to make a few advancements on that front by now. They have enough on their hands trying to keep the ship's machinery and engines working and updated all these years. The screen was filling up with shapes. They appeared to be keeping a safe distance away from the laser, but it wasn't far enough to suit her. Blynn, please tell them to back off. She could hear voices talking, arguing. They sounded like Blynn and Sheridan, but it was difficult to tell. A cold, creepy sensation began to infuse her bloodstream. Something was happening, or about to happen. Gradually, she began throttling back on the laser when she thought she'd heard a scream. The bore suddenly shifted sideways, then began rolling. Immediately, she killed the laser, but the machine continued to tumble. Unable to tell if she were going sideways, up, or down, Ayn gripped the edges of the cockpit as her harness prevented her from being thrown around inside the tiny space. She could hear the bore striking something and bouncing off. Her stomach reacted to the violent tossing, and she threw up in her mouth. When she finally stilled, she knew she was upside down. Blood rushed to her head. Leaning her head back, she spat out the bile in her mouth. Hello, can anyone hear me? Hello? Lyle? Blynn? There was no answer. Likewise, the radar was dark. She hit the switch to bring it back up without success. Hello? Hey, guys, where am I? Can you hear me? The radio was dead silent. She detected nothing, not even static. Hey, I'm okay. Blynn. Grabbing the sticks, she tried to ignite the engine. Maybe she could aim the bore toward the surface. The engine clicked, unresponsive. It was so quiet she could hear the thudding of her heart. She wondered what the men up top were saying, what they were doing. They should be able to locate her with another radar system, but getting to her would be a whole nother problem. Guys! Blynn! Taking a deep breath, she tried to calm herself. I'll be fine. I just have to be patient and hope they get to me in time. She glanced at the readout on her dash. She had 17 minutes worth of air left. 17 minutes. Had this been a normal dig, she would have been able to get back to the surface in 5. The readout dropped to 16. Then the cockpit totally went dark.